Last time on Pretty Dece, it's time for a preview. Yuriko, the Tiger Shadow. By the way, yes, Commander Ninjutsu works exactly the way you want it to work. To take advantage of this, Adam Staborski and DJ from Jumbo Commander teamed up to make this doozy of a deck. Alright, I'm gonna jump right in here and assume you already know what Commander is, and if you don't know what Commander is, it's the casual / multiplayer format of choice for magicians in the last, decade or so. For a primer, you can check out the Adam Staborski article in the description and then come back to this later, because we are moving on. You've probably heard someone talk about Commander cards. Don't sell that 7-mana sorcery that does nothing. That's a Commander card. That's going to be big money someday. Or you see a card that's great in your standard deck and you think about putting it in your Commander deck and then everyone gives you crap. No way, that's never going to work in Commander. What are you doing? No one ever gives you reasons behind what they're saying and you don't want to look dumb, so you nod along and you move on. And I get it. We've all been there. So today, we're going to explain exactly what constitutes a Commander card. This is an example of a Commander card. It had absolutely no impact on Standard the entire time it was legal because it is a big dumb 7-mana creature that destroys anything except another creature and gives you a land. That's not so great in a typical constructed format. Even in small formats like Standard, 7 mana is a considerable bar to clear. If you're sinking that much mana into a card and it doesn't win the game on the spot, you are in trouble. That is very much not how Commander works. Commander legality stretches all the way back to Alpha. Even with the singleton restriction, any format with this amount of cards is bound to be nutty. But Commander is casual. You're playing with your friends. There's nothing on the line. It's not super cutthroat. The generally agreed upon way to play is to run a lot of mana sources and deliberately take lots of time setting up some of your deck's engines. Naturally, over the course of a game, another player will set up their deck's game plan first, or they're going to try and disrupt yours. This is where the politics of multiplayer Magic come in. Kill her Kaalia, or it's gonna attack next turn.
I won't attack you with Kaalia. I'm gonna attack him, because he's gonna go off with the Animar if I don't.
This part can go on for a while. The fun derived from this part of Commander is, up for debate, but I digress. Let's come back to Sylvan Primordial. Sure, it was horrible in Standard by every metric, but it's pretty much a textbook example of what a good Commander card looks like. It does everything you want, especially in a multiplayer game. It gives you lands, it disrupts all of your opponents equally, and it's a big old clunky doofus. Sylvan Primordial is so good in Commander, in fact, that, it's banned. The Commander ban list is kind of a mess. God, I keep getting off topic. So when someone refers to something as a Commander card, what they're actually saying is that the card is not very good in a competitive context, but in the mana-hungry, slow simmer begrudgingly brought to a boil that is Commander, the card's got some applications. Bonus points if the card generates lots of mana or affects multiple opponents. This is not a Commander card. I picked this one specifically because the fine young idiot that animates all of these videos has it in his Commander deck. I love the fine young animator.
I, John, am
dumb. Lightning Strike, like Incinerate, Searing Spear, and even Volcanic Hammer before it, has some real tournament pedigree. Lightning Strike brings home the bacon, so why isn't it a Commander card? Once again, it's time to bring back our frame of reference for what a Commander card is. This thing is a 6/8. A 6/8 seems gigantic, but stats like that aren't the exception, they're the rule. Against the cards you can expect your opponents to bring to the table, Lightning Strike does nothing. Also in Commander, players start at 40 life, so a Lightning Strike is only 7.5% of one player's life total, as opposed to a normal game of Magic, where 3 damage is 15% of everyone's starting life total. Lightning Strike is cheap and mana efficient, but when everyone starts at 40 life, the parameters of what makes a viable card differ wildly. The TLDR here, the cards that are slower and seem kind of mopey are capable of doing big things in Commander. Something that's mana efficient, sleek, and agile might beat an opponent starting off at 20 life, but they leave a lot to be desired against multiple opponents that start every game at 40. But there are exceptions to every rule. You should let us know what cards are good in competitive and Commander play in the comments. You can also like and subscribe to see more of this stuff, and hey, I write a newsletter for TCG Player every week, so to get that little hookup, check out the description for more info. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.